10 mistakes to avoid while studying. Avoid these techniques. They can waste your time even while they fool you into thinking you are learning. Rule number 1. Passive rereading. Sitting passively and running your eyes back and forth over a page is useless. Rereading is a waste of time. Unless you can prove that the material you are reading is moving into your brain by recalling the main ideas without looking at the page. Rule number 2. Letting highlights overwhelm you. Highlighting your text can fool your mind into thinking that you are putting something in your brain, when all you are really doing is moving your hand. A little highlighting here and there is okay. Sometimes it can be helpful in marking important points. But if you are using highlighting as a memory tool, make sure that what you mark is also going into your brain. Rule number 3. Merely glancing at a problem solution and thinking you know how to do it. This is one of the worst errors students make while studying. You need to be able to solve a problem step by step, exactly knowing why you're doing that step in the first place without looking at the solution. Rule number 4. Waiting until the last minute to study. Would you practice at a last minute if you were preparing for a sports competition? Your brain is like a muscle. It can handle only a limited amount of exercise on one subject at a time. Rule number 5. Repeatedly solving problems of the same type that you already know how to solve. If you just sit around solving similar problems during your practice, you are not actually preparing for a test. It's like preparing for a big basketball game by just practicing your dribbling. Rule number 6. Letting study sessions with friends turn into chat sessions. Checking your problem solving with friends and quizzing one another on what you know can make learning more enjoyable. Help find flaws in your thinking and deepen your learning. But if your joint study sessions turn into fun sessions before the real work is done, you're wasting your and others' time. Better find another study group or study alone. Rule number 7. Neglecting to read the textbook before you start working problems. Would you dive into a pool before you knew how to swim? The textbook and the notes are like your swimming instructor. They guide you towards the correct methods and answers. You will flounder and waste your time if you don't bother to read it. Before you begin to read, however, take a quick glance over the chapter or section to get a sense of what it's about. Rule number 8. Not checking with your instructors or classmates to clear up points of confusion. Teachers complain that students rarely come in for doubts or guidance. It is our job to help them. The students we worry most are the ones who never come in. Don't be one of those students. Rule number 9. Thinking you can learn deeply when you're constantly distracted. Every time you give ear to a notification on a mobile phone, social media message, or to a conversation means you have that much less brain power to process the learning material. Every tug of interrupted attention pulls out tiny neural connections before they can grow. Rule number 10. Not getting enough sleep. Your brain pieces together problem-solving techniques when you sleep. And it also practices and repeats whatever you put in your mind before you go to sleep. During sleep, your brain also does the repair work. Prolonged fatigue due to sleep deprivation leads toxins to build up in the brain that can disrupt the neural connections you need to think quickly and well. If you don't get a good sleep before a test, nothing else you've done will matter. Keep learning, keep rising. Thank you.